breaking news, President Biden appears to have gotten lost once more, and who knows if he will ever find his way off the stage.
Has been lost before and had his dear wife to help him with chocolate pudding and a fresh baby wipe and a helping hand off the stage, but not this time.
Or Biden again.
I know. Poor guy.
You don't see nothing about him going on anymore.
No, none of that.
Yeah.
Quite shocking, huh? Dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun.
nobody cares. He's not up to be on the for next election or anything now. So it's even though he's still technically running the country and everything.
Yep. But at least we don't have to see him embarrass himself any longer.
Well, you still see that.
Well, you're still seeing it, but it's less of, because he didn't have to debate anymore, and which was a no-go for him because just his,
Hey, Jake, how's it going? We got B Charmin in here.
Woohoo.
We got Blake.
Woohoo.
T2.
Woohoo.
Sue. Bubble Bibble and Pat Evans.
Woohoo, woohoo, woohoo.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Happy Thursday. Fester popping in just in the nick of time.
Wow, Vesta, you made it this time. Woohoo. If you hear any beeping or noises, please tell me to mute because trash day today.
We have get you right early in the morning. The MPOX is they abbreviated it now, so it's MPOX now.
Larry's present. Morning, Larry.
So these can be controlled without prolonged Europe into lockdown. It's at that stage to where is it going to be the next 2020 thing, or is it is it going to get to that stage? It has escalated quite a bit. It's not at the COOF level yet. Because those numbers are rising a lot right now. The whole MPOX thing. It might take a while for it to get up there. But like I said, it's not as bad as its last 2020
outbreak of it.
They are saying that there is a new variant of the 2020 bug that is running rampant in the hospitals and stuff right now. So is this the thing that's going to come like toward November? Is it going to come out and make everybody stay home and use those mail-in ballots again? Who knows? It's one of those things.
Or leave another mess on somebody else's hands if it's over.
There's already some countries that are mandating the face diapers already. So you got to kind of consider, go back to when the first one started. They found the outbreak and everything, and by the time it got to the United States, then boom, everybody has to wear that mask, and then you've seen how things went from there. So, it's good idea just keep an eye on it, see where they go with it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It is contagious to other people, not just the one group.
Yep. Well, it's kind of like the chicken thing, chicken pox. I don't know if we can say that. I just did. Oops.
Now, let's see. I don't want to get into that too yet. Let's go over to Israel thing going on still.
Mm-hmm.
And this is in Chicago, you know, the thing going on there, which I like how they put a wall around that.
Yeah.
But the borders are wide open. But we won't talk about that. But yeah, Israel flags, not only Israel flags, but United States flags being burnt there by a bunch of, you know, the pro Hamas and all those people, pro Palestine, that group, and you notice, well, the majority of them, except for this Yahoo down here, all got masks on. Why? I never understood that. If they're going to stand up for a cause or whatnot and yell bad things about the country they live in, why not be proud enough to show your face when you're doing it? But no, they got to hide behind that mask and make it look like they're one of those tea people from over in the Middle East.
Right.
And you notice these head garments that most of them wear and these scarves that they have. You know, Amazon has been going nuts selling these things.
Yes. Which is kind of scary.
I mean, they've been putting out and there was a report, I think yesterday or day before, the sales of those things are almost as much as Olympic t-shirts and memorabilia and stuff like that. And I was like, what? So somebody making some money off of this, but yeah, that's their whole thing there. And you would think, you know, the Democrat thing going on over there, those are the people that are for that, you know, ending the stuff over there in Israel. You would think these people wouldn't protest there, but I don't know. They must think, oh, we can protest here because they won't do nothing about it. Which protesting, they don't. There is that other group that is involved in this and trying to start things by catching things on fire and doing other things to get the crowd going. They're being arrested and stuff, but not these guys. And speaking of that, we do have a second aircraft arrives in the Middle East. So the USS Abraham Lincoln and several destroyers are now in the region amid fears of broader conflict between Israel and Iran. Yeah, this, which they, it's not like they were too far away. They were just days away. But with the other group that was already there, now this second group coming in, it looks like there may be something, or it just could be just a show of force. Hey, don't do anything, or else, again, we have to realize who is in charge over here. Are they just trying to show force to be like, hey, we're on top of things, or is it serious? Only time will tell. It's one of those things. Biden is pressuring Israel to keep up the peace talks, which Hamas already said they don't want no peace talks. They don't want to be no part of it. To show that, they tossed over hostages, the remains of the hostages, 6 of them, sorry. But yeah, that's something we need to keep an eye open for over in Israel. All that stuff going on. Let's see, we got Mad Elf in here.
Hello. Had to mute a little bit. Train, trash truck. I was getting all the noises. I'm sorry.
WTH, good to see you. Let's see here. Let's get a
still the trash.
Let's get a funny.
Blake was asking who's in charge and where's the money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
You may never know that.
Good morning to everybody that I didn't say hello to.
These little kids playing a joke.
Oh gosh. Oh.
We're ready to go now. We got her tongue pierced. Yeah, okay. Yep. What is that? What is that? What is that?
Oh, kid
what is that?
Oh, cute.
Oh, there was Alyssa Silverstone. Or Silverstone. I don't know why I could call her Silver Spoon. I guess it kind of fits, but she's over in Britain or London or wherever, somewhere over there, and she's seen this plant. It looked like a tomato, but it was, the leaves and stuff didn't match. And she just picked one up and started eating it and stuff. Let me go ahead and put that up here on the screen. And she asked people on TikTok, what is this? She said it's kind of bitter, it kind of tastes weird, tastes like a pepper or something.
Oh goodness,
it was poison. It was poisonous.
Anything
it's
that's
not
bitter is usually poison, right?
Extremely poisonous, but it's what they call, I think, Jerusalem something another. I forget. It says somewhere. Jerusalem cherry.
It can be used to induce like vomiting and stuff like that. If it was used municipally, probably, but it's not that toxic. It's not that poison.
Well, it depends how much you eat of it.
Right.
It's it's a member of Nightshade, and
Mm.
that's pretty bad stuff. And she's over there.
Yep.
I mean, I don't think she went and ate a whole bunch of them, but I think she,
Just probably
tasted
like,
it and then
yeah,
threw it
mixed
down.
it.
But there's people saying, on TikTok, it's poison. Don't eat that.
Which they're kind of right. Yeah, it is. It is poisonous, toxic for us humans. But
if you aren't 100% sure that something
yeah,
is food, please do not put it into your mouth.
no, don't try to taste it. No, no. Look it up. They have apps that you can use it for free for a couple of days that will.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust the apps either.
No, I know. Remember, I had the problem with it. It was telling me
Yeah,
something else for something else. I'm like, what? No.
yeah, don't put anything unless you're 100% sure. Consuming large amounts can be fatal.
Mm-hmm.
Silverstone was lucky because she says she didn't swallow the berries, and also perhaps because the berries were reddish orange, which indicates they were ripe. Other toxic lookalikes,
Mm-hmm.
which would have been deadly. There,
Yeah.
like I said, there's a lot of this, but the fact that she's like on TikTok, I wonder what this is. Just picks it up off the side of the street. Yeah, just weird. One of
Weird,
those weird things.
a little bit of stupidity, but at least she did ask somebody, but it was after the fact. But still.
Yeah, the good thing is she didn't keep on eating it afterwards, because we'd have found out. Oh, she'd been rushed to the hospital. Oh, too late. I guess you found out.
Right. Hey, Ark. Ark Wildman's in the house. Hey, CJ.
And we got government. U.S. economy added 118,000 fewer jobs,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to pay attention to that, because they'll say that economy has added 118,000 jobs, but they forget the fewer jobs,
Yep.
meaning and a lot of this wasn't reported there.
Mm-hmm.
They had issues with the calculations and stuff, so it wasn't added quite right, and a lot of that is said to be done because of the debate that had happened. They were waiting until that was over, and
Mm-hmm.
now they waited until now. It's been out for a little bit, but it's now being reported uh, from this period of time that 118,000 fewer jobs than first reported in the year that ended in March. Um, that being said, all this talk about their adding new jobs and all this, whoops, yeah, not quite the way they intended it to be. So yeah, whoops. And a lot of times you got to watch it, because they will leave out that one little word that changes everything. That one little word. JW. Which JW? Let's see. And we have more talk about August's supermoon is the first of the 4 lunar spectacles that is to become. And the supermoon was what, 2 days ago?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have to mute again because now somebody's car alarm's going off.
So there's four more spectacles supposed to be coming. Oh, okay. Does he have a new channel? Maybe that's why I haven't seen him live for a while. During the supermoon, the full moon inches a little closer than usual to Earth. A supermoon isn't bigger, but it appears that way in the night sky, because it's closer. But there has been some really good pictures of the supermoon with certain locations around Earth and whatnot. People have been taking some really good pictures. September supermoon will coincide with a particular lunar eclipse. October will be the year's closest approach, and November will be round out the year. So we have more of these, in the 80s and stuff, or 70s growing up. I didn't even know there was different names for the moon and the lunar things and all that. You didn't hear about any of this. There was the eclipse in the 80s, and we had Halley's Comet. That was a thing, and that was about it. After that, now it's like we have different moons for every month. We have, all these new things coming about. It's crazy how much new stuff is about the moon and the sun and all this stuff and the planets. And I don't know, is it just we're just discovering this stuff or what? Because me growing up, I don't remember all this stuff. All I remember is, there's a full moon, and that was it. There was no, blood moon. There was no different phases. Well, the normal phases, but no weird ones like they come up with now. Let's go ahead and put something good in the news. Might help if I add it again. Okay, gotta cut the music.
Yep. Oh, that always stinks.
This little baby fawn, I think that's what they're called. The mama didn't want it.
Mm-hmm.
So these people took it upon themselves to raise it. Aw. Could you imagine a little baby deer in your house cuddling with the baby? It's just one of the family,
Mm-hmm.
It got so used to growing up with the dog and
the dog and the kid got used to growing up with him too.
yeah.
That's cute.
Well, there's more food. Sitting out there with the kitty cats. Yeah. I'd be really worried about, being out in the yard and somebody, it's hunting season, But I do like that, because if not, that that deer wouldn't have made it.
Yeah, it was way too young.
Well,
to be-
chances are it wouldn't have made it too
Yeah,
long.
chances
'Cause
are.
either a predator would have got it or something.
Or it wouldn't have. It was kind of young, so didn't know if it was still able to know what to do out in the wild, like what the parent teaches. So you know what,
Okay.
Vicky?
Here's another one. This is I don't know where this is at or anything, but yeah, I'll just leave it this. I'm just gonna play it and see how well you would do crawling around in this thing. Oh,
Mm-mm. Nope.
well, you ain't seen nothing. Look at that thing. Teeth all mangled all over the place. I
That
mean,
thing
it'd
is
be a good place
definitely.
to look at that stuff underwater, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That'd have to be some really strong glass for me to get up under there.
Yep.
That crocodile sitting there trying to go through the glass.
I know. I'm like, oh nope,
Look
nope,
at all
nope,
them
nope.
scratches that thing's
He's
been trying to eat people through that glass. Nope.
he's been hit by a couple of boats. You could tell, like the propellers got his face for one.
Ugh.
Been in a bunch of fights. Thing was huge.
Nope.
Nope. Anything in a tube underwater like that? Nope. No, thank you. Nope. I don't like that.
And let's get along with this one here. And I want to know your guys' opinion in chat about this one too. Who do you think's at the fault for this? Or do you think both parties are in fault of it? But go ahead and watch this.
Dispute over an expensive piece of art after a little boy had a big accident.
Watch as this 5-year-old boy reaches for an art sculpture on display at a community center, toppling the piece, knocking the boy down too. The boy's mother, Sarah Goodman, stunned, but the real shock coming days later.
No one would ever expect to come into a place where kids are invited and have to worry about a $132,000 piece of art falling.
The family receiving an odd $132,000 claim from the City of Overland Park's insurance company. The fall allegedly damaging the piece beyond repair. The insurance letter reading in part, "You're responsible for the supervision of a minor child. Your failure to monitor could be considered negligent."
I was surprised, more so offended to be called negligent.
City officials say the piece was secured.
It's not an interactive piece. So when you have, somebody climbing on it, that's not what it's built for.
The city says they hope the insurance company can work this out with the family.
Yeah. What do you guys think about that?
I think the company policies were right on key with you're supposed to watch your kids. You're supposed to how were we I remember being taught when I was younger, look, don't touch. Hands to your side. Like look, don't touch. Because the parent is responsible for their children. If they destroy something like that, absolutely.
My kids, if we went somewhere, they wouldn't. They know better.
Yep.
Yeah, but I do feel that the art place there could do better blocking the art off.
Yes.
Something like that just sitting on the side of the wall. Because normally it's behind glass or something like that.
Right.
So stuff like this doesn't happen. So
lesson learned for both of them.
The fact that she says, "Oh, offended. Well, you should be. You're supposed to watch your kid.
Right? Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. That's
And
the
I
place to
came
go
across
visit.
this one here, and I guess if it works, and if you live through it, yeah, this is how they repaired the pin of the tracks of the tank. Evidently, they didn't bring a hammer with them, so.
Забываем пальцы.
I don't know what he's saying, so I'm going to mute it just in case.
Mhm.
But he is actually using a shell. Although, you know, the end that goes boom is on the other end, but still the vibration and stuff, I wouldn't want to be banging on a tank with the shell.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, if it didn't work, you would feel it real quick.
Oh yeah.
Everybody there would be
Yeah,
toasted.
right. Right.
Everybody's standing there watching it. I'd be like,
They're all
I'll be
laughing.
over here watching and let me know when you're done.
Right, what life? Yeah, and what could go wrong?
Yeah.
Oh shoot.
Okay. Let's get on with I guess the main story. And that's what I feel is the main story today. Body of British tech entrepreneur Lynch retrieved from the yacht.
Oh, they found them. Mm.
Now, there's a lot to this, and I'll get to this in a couple other bits here. But they got him out. They got everybody out except for one, and I'll talk about that here in a minute. There's one person missing. That now this is not an easy task because they once they go down, they have to come back up. They have to stop in certain stages, so the oxygen in their blood dissipates. So they have to keep going up every 50 or 100 feet and waiting, and then go up. It's a
Mhm.
process, so
Yeah.
it's a very dangerous for the divers to do this. But let's go ahead and let me open the next one here. And as you see, the Super Yacht sinks latest 5 bodies identified, including tech tycoon Mike Lynch, but daughter is still missing. His 18-year-old daughter is nowhere to be found. That's not saying, because the conspiracy things are going to go on like
Oh
crazy.
yeah.
Oh, she's still alive and she's caused it, and all this. And
That was the first thing that popped in my head as a
the
suggestion.
thing is, though, it's the ocean. Sometimes
Yeah.
your body does float away. Not saying that happened or didn't happen, but at this time,
Hey, chicken noodle girl.
all the people have been identified and retrieved except for the daughter. And let's see if it actually starts this time.
For them. Looking at the results, there's a bit of a north-south divide. For them. Looking at the results, there's a bit of a north-south divide as well that appears to be forming with people tending to get better results in London and the southeast compared to, for example, the northeast or the East Midlands and Yorkshire.
Why do they put stuff on the news if it has nothing to do with the story? Never mind. It had the story about everybody involved in it and whatnot. And let me go ahead and put this up here. And this tells of the people who were involved in this. Now, of course, Mike Lynch is the Bill Gates of UK, British tech tycoon, was among the 6 people who missing. Divers confirmed his body has been recovered. He was 59 years old. He had a net worth of 852 million euros, I think it is. According to 2023 Sunday Times rich list people, and is believed to have owned the yacht, which it was not. It was the wife who owned it, which you can say that he owned it, because that's usually what they do. They'll put it in somebody else's name so they can write it off for a tax or something. He was given roles as of science advisor to former Prime Minister David Cameron, and non-executive director of the BBC, which is the big news over there. What else here? And this is Hannah Lynch, the one who is still missing. 18-year-old daughter was on board, still missing. She was on holiday with her parents, having secured a place to study English at the University of Oxford. According to reports, her former school was in West London, said that was incredibly shocked by the news that Hannah and her father among the missing is a tragic incident. His wife, was on board, was rescued. Yeah, the 57-year-old said that she and Lynch were awakened by the boat tilting at 4 a.m. And that kind of surprised me that because those yachts, any little thing that happens, they have alarms for. They have stabilizers on the boats. If they tilt just a little bit, those alarms go off, and they through all the cabins, so everybody would have heard those alarms. And the fact that no alarm went off, all they heard or felt was the boat tipping. That's a surprising part to me. And you go down, and there's more of these guys. Jonathan Bloomer, chairman of investment bank Morgan Stanley International, was confirmed dead on Thursday. Yeah, he goes, which was involved in the same businesses as Lynch, too. A lot of investments went both ways with these guys. A 70-year-old was chief executive of UK Hong Kong insurer Prudential until was outed by the board in 2005. Judy Bloomer, which was his wife, divers confirmed that her body was found Thursday. That was a chef. Chris guy, U.S. lawyer, was among those divers found on Thursday. The father of 2 worked on Lynch's U.S. fraud trial and was a partner of law firm Crawford and Chance, a U.S. branch. There's a lot into this one. I can't talk too much more about it because of certain words and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
the September, thing that happened. But there's a lot on this guy that we'll probably be hearing a lot more on. But those are the main ones that you want to pay attention to, and it'll probably come out more and more
Mm-hmm.
as time goes.
No, B. Chapman had a question. I thought the wife got away with a little baby.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she did. She was rescued, and I believe the baby was a 4-month-old. I'm not
Yep.
100% sure, but
Yep.
I'm pretty sure it was 4-month-old baby.
4-month-old. Yeah. Yep. You were right, B. I was just waiting for him to finish talking so I could ask the question. So
Yeah.
August hasn't been a good month. No, August has not been a good month for anybody. Nope, not a good month at all. You're good, B.
And we got Trump defeats Harris by a landslide in Musk poll on X. Now, I'll go ahead and skip all this stuff. If you were here, what was it? Not last Monday, but the Monday before, we did the speech. Luckily, got in to do the speech, or not speech, but the sit down talk with Trump and Musk, and there was this thing that happened, and they did trace it back to Iran doing naughty things on the internet. But I'll go ahead and show you the polls, and the polls are still going on too, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Let me go ahead and bring that up here.
See some funny numbers. Ready, set, here we go.
And this is, since a lot of people have asked, here goes super unscientific poll. Who will you vote for? 73.2% say Trump and 26.8% say Harris. And then there's a bunch of other people making polls like this. Who should be in Trump's administration? 25% say Musk, 5.7 say Tucker, and 69.3 say both of them. So, yeah. Now, again, this is just on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. But I thought it was a good thing to go with the last story, the actual poll. Now, a lot of people say, "Oh, no, it's just the people on the right is the only ones that are on X." No, you believe it or not, there's quite a bit. It's pretty even. There is like, it's almost 50-50 of left versus right on Twitter, because it is free speech. You can actually say what you want to say there. And both sides enjoy that part of being on it. And I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, and you can see there was over 100 million people who voted. And speaking of the DNC, like I said, I'm not going to, talk about it too much, but there is something pretty interesting about it. and I like that this was on CNN. Yes, I'm actually going to play something that was on CNN. But I oops, get back here. You're not supposed to start playing yet. There we go. Now just listen to this guy, and he says it how it is.
In all these speeches, as good as they were, is that she's in the White House right now.
Mm-hmm.
Democrats have controlled the White House for 12 of the last 16 years. And for all of the talk about division and the problems in the country and people are hurting, Democrats have mostly controlled this country. Trump had it for 4. The Obamas and Biden had it for the rest of the time. And somehow it's still all Trump's fault. And somehow she hasn't been at the center of it. So to me, that's still the glaring hole in this campaign that hasn't yet been solved at the convention. How do you explain all of the problems that will be solved by the person who is currently in there for the last 3.5 years, who is supposed to already be working on solving it? But in all these speeches, as good as they
here,
her face was like,
yeah,
she just started sitting back slower and slower, and then had to slump down, look down.
Yeah. It's like, this is not what it was supposed to go down.
Oh,
This is
no.
live. So they're like, and if you look at, go back and look at all of them, they're like, he's not supposed to say this. Like I said, I haven't watched it, and I don't care to watch it or even report on it, because that means I'd have to actually go there and watch some of it. And no, I'm not into that, because I know it's more of the same thing. It's going to be trash talking, and if there's anything that's going to be said, it's going to be copying what Trump has already said and what Vance has already said. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me find this other thing here.
Poor Mad Elf. Mad Elf says, scary how many KH signs that are around her. Feel like she's in enemy territory. She's up in Maine, so they're all for Kamala. Except for Mad Elf.
Share this.
I feel for you. Sorry.
Now, I seen this. I don't know if anybody's watched it or anything like this, but Defender of the Republic was on a show last night, and this was on it, and I thought this was hilarious. So we have to play it.
Steve Cortez here on the west side of Chicago, Democratic National Convention at United States. Democrats, of course, want open borders and want an endless stream of.
Can't really hear it.
Oh, you can't hear it?
Is the volume low on the video?
Well, let me go back and reshare it. It might have not shared it. The volume.
Yeah, B said she can't hear it either. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes you have to share it on another format.
Hey, Steve Cortez here on the west side.
There we go. Yep.
National Convention at United Center. The Democrats, of course, want open borders and want an endless stream of illegal migrants pouring into the United States. This is my new acquaintance, Edwin. Say hello.
My name is Edwin.
Okay, Edwin is from Venezuela. And we're going to take Edwin into the DNC so that he can meet the Democrats who want open borders. He should meet his new friends, hear the speakers, and learn about the Democratic Party. So, Edwin, let's head in, shall we? This is Edwin from Venezuela, migrant, invited in by the Democratic Party. He'd like to come into the Democratic Convention.
You have to get your credentials. Yep, you have to go to.
Now, pay attention to this. This is not getting in the convention. This is getting in the walls that they put up around the convention. There's a wall to keep people out of the convention area. There's a wall, this gated area all the way around, and you have to go security to get into this. There's more security around this than it is to get into the country.
Mm-hmm.
That's the surprising part, but
Right.
Jackson.
Yep. Wait, you mean he needs credentials and permission to come in to get past the wall?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a border wall in a way, huh?
Yeah. You have to have ID, credentials. He can come
Okay,
in.
to come to the United States?
No, to come
Not to come to the
here.
United States. Okay, but to
No,
come to the
just to
Democratic
come through
Convention.
here, baby.
Okay, you believe in security. You believe in securing a boundary. Edwin can't come in.
That's all I know.
I commend you on guarding this border. You're doing it very effectively, folks.
Good morning.
We would like to get some credentials for Edwin. Come on, Edwin. Edwin is from Venezuela. So we tried to get Edwin into the convention. He's a migrant from Venezuela. No organization, just American. And he's a migrant from Venezuela. Wanted to get into the convention. We figured that they would love to have a migrant from Venezuela come in. They said we need credentials. So we're here to get the credentials. Okay.
Has anyone filled out an application?
So you have to, there's a process of application. He didn't have that at the border.
I have my own personal beliefs on this, but right now I'm just so I'll have camera off.
Just to be clear, we have been ejected from the DNC credentialing office because we're not permitted to be here. We don't have permission. We didn't go through the application process. It seems like the United States would use similar rules about crossing the U.S. border. DNC doesn't believe in that, but they do believe in it for their own convention. This is Edwin. He's from Venezuela. He's a migrant. Democratic Party wants an endless stream of migrants into America. So I'd like him to go and meet his political friends, listen to the speeches, and come into the Democratic Convention. Well, you're laughing. He's allowed to come to the United States without identification or permission. Can he come into the DNC?
I don't think the Secret Service is going to go for it.
They're not going to go for it? Well, they went for it at the border.
Well, maybe he can get credentials.
We'd like to get Edwin in. The Democratic Party invited him into America from Venezuela. We'd like to get Edwin in to meet his Democratic friends.
No, they
Do you need credentials to go to the United States?
We're done.
Do you need credentials to go to the United States? So we do need credentials here to get past this heavily armed barrier. Well, Edwin, Kamala Harris is an open border. You're allowed in America. You're not allowed into her party. Oh, well, Edwin, we tried.
This is so awesome that they did this stuff to prove a point.
That's a strikeout in BS See? Did I strike? We're out.
Podría haber una diferencia.
Same in Caracas, same in Venezuela.
Yeah.
That, oh, goodness.
Poor Edwin.
I know. But I mean, he was smiling through the whole thing. He probably get paid a couple bucks, but it was to prove a point.
Oh yeah,
Big
definitely.
time. It is funny as heck though, but it's just so funny because it's so easy to get in the country, but not. I love it how he said, Kamala's having a party and you can't go in. It's like, oh man, what a tease.
And here's another good one here.
What's the biggest threat to America?
The media.
Why?
The media is the enemy of the people. Take a look at the Trump versus Biden debate, that first debate that ever happened. Before that debate, the media was all in with Biden, was promoting him, was saying that it was a right-wing conspiracy if you say that Biden is senile, Biden has dementia, Biden has lost his step, and Biden is not in control. Then the debate happens, and the largest audience ever of American people, but also the world, had now seen on that stage that Biden cannot complete a sentence. Keep in mind, they've known this the whole time. This guy has been cooked since 2020. And then immediately the media changes tune, saying Biden's senile, Biden's this, Biden's that. The media switches and changes up, and then they usher in Kamala. They literally attempted a coup on Biden, and they were successful. No one voted for Kamala to be the Democratic nominee. For the party that says that Trump is this huge threat to democracy, that was one of the most anti-democratic things that I have ever seen. And so now the media is fully on board with Kamala. They're saying that she's ahead in the polls. How do they conduct the polls? I've never been called by CNN. Have you? No. I've never been called by Washington Post. I've never been polled. The media is what causes racial divide. It causes family divide. It causes political divide. It causes fear, uncertainty. It makes people feel like the world's ending, when if you just come outside and touch grass, life's pretty good. So I think the media is the enemy of the people. The media is the biggest threat to the American public and to the world. They're just complete liars and cappers and frauds and scammers.
Right on.
Not they. I totally agree. I like
Right?
it. You need to go outside and touch grass.
Yep. Young man using his brain.
Uh,
They're scarce nowadays, but they're still out there. Thank gosh.
yeah. Oh, we can't forget. I almost passed it up. Can't forget what life's today in history. This is a segment in honor of What Life, because he's always given us the quotes of
Yep.
what's
Chats and
going on
everything.
in today in history and whatnot. Yeah. Let's see. Today, in August 22nd, 1851, the schooner American outraced more than a dozen British vessels off of the English coast to win a trophy that came to be known as the American Cup. 1970 or 1791, Haiti Revolution began, and as enslaved people of Saint Dominic rose up against French colonizers. In 1910, Japan annexed Korea, which remained under Japanese control into the end of World War II. Let's see. In 1922, Irish revolutionary Michael Collins was shot to death, apparently by Irish Republican Army members opposed to the Anglo-Irish treaty that Collins had co-signed. 1965, a 14-minute brawl ensued between San Francisco Giants and Los Angeles Dodgers after Giants pitcher Juan Marshall struck Dodgers catcher John Roseborough in the head with a baseball bat. Ooh. Yeah, I don't remember this. Well, I wasn't there, but I don't remember hearing about this. Oh, here we go. In 1968, the Pope Paul VI arrived in Bogota, Colombia, for the start of the first papal visit to South America. Let's see. Oh, 1972, John I don't even know. Salvatore Natural took 7 employees hostage at the Chase Manhattan Bank in Brooklyn, New York, during a botched robbery. The siege, which ended with whatever the guy's name is, arrest and natural killing by FBI inspired the 1975 movie Dog Day Afternoon. I remember the movie. Yeah, I probably can't talk about that one. Again, can't talk about that one. And that has been in today's history like 3 times already. So, in 1996, Bill Clinton signed welfare legislation that ended guaranteed cash payments to the poor and demanded work for the recipients. I don't think that actually worked. I don't think there's too many people that get on welfare that actually have to work. Yeah, I think that's about it. There's a uh, 2007, a Black Hawk helicopter crashed in Iraq, killing 14 U.S. soldiers aboard. And there's a lot more to these, but that's what we're gonna do for now. And before it gets too late, let's get this last one in here. I found this interesting. A woman reunited with missing cat after 11 years.
You excited?
I am. I can't. It's been such a long time.
Okay, we're gonna be hopping right into here first. Just let me know if you see your kitty cat, okay? Thank you. Is this your kitty cat?
Yes, it is. Sam, the kitty cat man. I've missed you so much. 11 years my cat's been missing. I'm just so excited. But it's been 11 years and I'm just speechless that I have my cat back.
Who are you?
It's just, I never thought it would happen.
Right?
I searched the woods. I asked everybody that lived around us and nobody saw him. He's a survivor. He is a survivor. Sam, buddy, to feel his little heartbeat in there. Oh gosh. it's the craziest thing that's ever happened to me.
Digging that though.
Yep.
Thank y'all, Charleston Animal Society, for calling.
Right,
Really
B.
thought y'all were playing a prank on me because it couldn't be possible. But yeah, this is a miracle in itself. And
She must have the cat chipped.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, something.
You know
But
it.
11 years ago.
Hair and everything. I don't care.
11 years ago, did they have chips though?
Well, Tobias is going to be 9 and he's got a chip. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
Yep. Well, 8 or 9. Yep. But
yeah,
even, I'm sure they did back then.
she said she had him for 2 years and a dog scared him and he ran off and they never did find him. And yeah, 11 years. I mean, that's cool. And that's a lot for a cat, you know.
Yeah, Lake said they did. Yeah, back then they did have the chips. Okay. They're fairly new for the chips, but not new in a way.
Okay. And you know what time it is. And we kind of ran over a little bit, but that seems to be a normal thing here lately. So,
Yeah, Pat says they used to chip animals at shelters too. Yep.
wait.
Hope y'all ate something.
Well, I don't know. We'll see. And here is Mountain Grandma's channel. Let's go ahead and play this. This is canning fresh homemade salsa.
Ooh.
Hey everybody, Mountain Grandma here. Today I'm going to share with you a recipe and review of a salsa ranchera recipe. And this is part of the Preserve Fresh collaboration hosted by Yogi Hollow Farms. So let's go ahead and get started.
That looks
It has to
good.
put it right there in my face too.
Right? That looks so good.
Okay, so we're going to start out with 3 pounds of tomatoes, and the tomatoes that I'm using are the Dr. Wyche's yellow tomatoes, and the red ones you see, those are Mountain Princess tomatoes. When cutting them up, don't forget to set aside your tops so you can put them in the dehydrator and make some tomato powder with them. It's great for using to make tomato paste. And then I wanted to share, look at these Dr. Wyche's tomatoes and how full and meaty they are. They make wonderful salsa. We've been getting around not a ton of tomatoes per plant, but we are really loving the flavor for salsa. And now for your jalapenos, you need 3/4 of a pound, which is about 12 ounces that you see here. And some of these are from our plants, but I did have to buy some. And the next thing you're going to do is put them on a sheet because you need to roast them in the oven. All right, so here I've got my 1 onion cut in 1/2-inch slices, and I've got 4 garlic, which they were
you need
kind of
more
small,
garlic.
so there's more than 4,
Oh,
but that's
lots
to
of
make
garlic.
up for the size of the garlic. And then I've also got my 3/4 of a pound jalapenos and my 3 pounds of tomatoes. And I am going to put these in the oven at 425 for 20 minutes. I want them to get roasted. I'm going to work on peeling these tomatoes, chopping up these onions, and for the jalapenos, put those in a bowl, cover it with saran wrap, and then you're going to come back after about 20 to 25 minutes and you're going to peel the skin off of those. And for this job, you want to make sure you have on gloves. All right, so here's those jalapenos. I've got them all peeled, and I set the peels aside and the veins and some of the seeds. I'm going to put these in the dehydrator, make a jalapeno powder out of them. And for now, with these guys, I'm going to go ahead and get them cut up really small. So I'll be back with you after I do that. All right, I've got all these jalapenos finely chopped. I'm going to get these put into a medium-sized saucepan, and I'm going to get to chopping the tomatoes and the onions also. So I'll be back with you. All right, I've got my tomatoes chopped up. Pretty mushy anyway, and also all the onions, I've got those chopped up, and I'm going to go add these to the pot that has the jalapenos in it. So what you see here is the tomatoes, the jalapenos, the onions, the garlic. I've added in 2 teaspoons of salt to this. It's going to be boiled, and then you let it simmer for 2 minutes. And after that, I'll be adding in 4 lime juice from 4 limes squeezed, as well as the cilantro. And for these limes, you got to have one of these things, I'm telling you. All right, so now we're going to start putting this salsa into the jars. This recipe said that it would take 3 to 4 jars. I only ended up needing 2, and then I had some excess to add to a 3rd jar. Just a heads up on that. But I did this recipe a 2nd time and doubled it. And at that time, I was able to get 7 jars, like 6 and maybe almost 1 more full one. So I think it's safe to say that it is about 3 jars. I didn't
think it's how
measure
much
my tomatoes.
the tomatoes.
I measured them before I actually cut the tops off. So I think that was the difference. But one thing I want to note about how I prep my jars, I wash them and clean them, and I put them on a cookie sheet in the oven at 200 degrees while I'm doing stuff, so they're nice and hot for me. And I also love that I can pull the cookie sheet out, and I have like this tabletop area that I can get messy or what have you by filling the jars and everything. So once I get them filled, I'll use the little tool to go around the edges of them to make sure there's no air bubbles in there. You do want to leave about 1 inch headspace on these. And then I wipe the tops with vinegar just to make sure that they get a good seal. Get the lids on those, and then put those into the oven, or not the oven, and then I put those into the water bath canner. And the time that the ball canning book says that is required for the water bath canning is 20 minutes. So put them in there for 20 minutes. And then according to the book, what you have to do next is take the lid off the pot and let them set for 5 minutes before you put them before you pull them out of the pot. So that's the process.
That's pretty much a given.
Yeah.
And here it is. I start out by making a small batch, and then I double it. My goal for the Preserve Fresh collaboration, I'm trying to just stock my cupboards with as much salsa as I need from the year. Now listen, before we go, I want to share the book and the recipe. This is the book that I pulled this recipe from. And there's several different salsa recipes in here, but I used the salsa ranchera recipes. And here's that recipe. We really love this salsa. And we're super excited about preserving food this year. I hope you all will think about preserving food. You'll get a lot of great ideas through this Preserve Fresh collaboration. So I hope you all go check it out. Thank you so much for watching.
Yeah, that's Mountain Air Grandma. You can go check her out. There's her channel there.
And technically, this is like snack time in between breakfast and lunch.
Yeah.
So there you go. You can have a good salsa in between.
There was a lot of canning to choose from instead of, normal food, I guess you would call. There wasn't too much on my subscribers, I'll put it that way. There wasn't too much. But let me go ahead and get this image up, and this is our verse for the day. Some trust in chariots and some trust in horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord our God. Psalms 27. And with that, I want to wish everybody a great day, and we will see you on the next one. And tomorrow will be the bigger news. I usually go 2 hours on Fridays, so hope everybody has a blessed day, and we'll see you on the next one. And no clue if 101 or anybody going live tonight, so we'll have to see. That being said, God bless everybody.
Yep. God bless.